Welcome to Blaine, Minnesota for some MLS Next Pro action. We're at the National Sports Center, and Minnesota United FC2 takes on the hottest team in the Western Conference, Houston Dynamo Dos, this evening. Hello, family. I'm James Haddon. Thank you so much for tuning in on One Football on MLSNextPro.com. Houston Dynamo Dos undefeated to start the season. 8 wins, no losses, and just 1 draw. Their only blemish, a 1-1 draw with Austin. And in that match, they gave up a late penalty. So this is the the Minnesota squad that's going to be taking on this Houston team this evening. Fernando Adi's squad in a 3-4-3. They make just 1 change from their loss 2-1 to Portland, and that is Troy Putt coming into the starting 11. So Marcus Caldera will be key at the front along with Anderson Ferris. And so those 3 are going to be at the top of this lineup trying to really calm down all that Houston does in the attack. And as we talk about the Dynamo, let's talk about their starting lineup for Coach Jeremy Hurdle. And for Coach Hurdle, his team makes 3 changes. Austin Brumet will come in after scoring last match. Vinicius Silva and Miles Gardner also will be in the starting 11, and this squad has been excellent starting this season. They were a young squad last year. They played really well through their first 7 matches, had 5 wins in their first 7, but hit a really rough patch in the month of May and June in which they did not win a match. They went 9 winless through the months of May, June, and into mid-July. But this season, they're hoping is going to be much different. They've already gotten a win in the month of May. They want to continue their unbeaten streak to start the season. The record for unbeaten coming into or going throughout the season at the beginning is for Colorado. They went 12 straight unbeaten going back to the 2023 season, in which they went all the way to the Western Conference playoffs. So this Houston squad is trying to get back to the playoffs themselves. They have not won a playoff match in their history, but they are one of the most highly touted regular season teams in this entire league over its existence. You go back to 2022, they were one of the original squads in MLS Next Pro, and coming into today after their exceptional start to the season, they have 55 wins in the regular season, and that is second most, only behind St. Louis, who themselves are off to a blistering start as they took on Houston last time out and fell 4-1. So this is a Houston squad that is confident. They have a charisma. They have a swagger to them, and they're going to come into this match with that confidence and charisma. And this is a Minnesota squad that has created chances, but they are still looking for the finishes. They come in with just 10 goals on the year, and that is second least in the league, only behind NYCFC in the Eastern Conference. But Coach Adi does believe his squad has created enough chances to be successful. They just have to finish those chances when given the opportunity, because if you don't, not just in this league but in any league, you tend to get punished on the other end when you don't take advantage of your own chances. So our head referee today is Peter Bernardi. He blows his whistle, and we begin from the National Sports Center in Blaine, Minnesota. Minnesota United FC2 and Houston Dynamo Dos in the Western Conference. Houston in the orange and Minnesota in the black. Ferris quickly forward and now back to the center back. Almost puts it into harm's way. Cabia has to be careful as he continues in possession, and Houston immediately almost forcing a detrimental turnover, and you see how committed they are in their defending. This is Putt. Can't step over, and then a shove from behind. So Pacoda. Dang. And now Cabia. Dang and Cabia, the center back pairing, they're going to be under immense duress today based on how Houston likes to defend. A little flick on. Cruz is coming out of his area. but offside is the decision. And so talking with Coach Adi this week, he said that Houston is a very, very good team, but they're very aggressive. And so the goal for Minnesota today is to use that aggression against the Dynamo. If they can use that aggression against them, does believe that they can create in the wide areas. They have the players to do so in the likes of Darius Randall. So Troy Putt has found himself in the lineup to be able to create. Now Houston in possession. Now off this volley. And there's the youngster Matthew Arana who puts it out of play. On the flip side, with Houston's aggressive defensive strategy, you do have to be careful to not fall right into their clutches. And that is going to be the game plan for Minnesota. They have to be clean in possession, especially out of the back. If they can break through that initial line of pressure, does Coach Adi that they can express themselves in the final third. But even once they get there, that's where they have to be better in finishing, especially against a good squad like Houston. For the Dynamo, they're just going to keep playing their game. The old adage, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. They've scored 24 goals coming into today, have allowed just 4 on the season. And so they have a formula, and it has worked. There is a step through. Possession won rather quickly, but now out of position are the Dynamo. This is Darius Randall. Caldera lets it run through. This shot is right at Cruz, but you see how quickly, once a man is pulled out of position for Houston, how Minnesota went the other way. That was the right decision for Caldera to let it run to Troy Putt. But Putt could not put any pressure on Pedro Cruz with his strike. Minnesota is no slouch defensively themselves, and so this is going to be an interesting test for Houston. Minnesota has allowed just 13 goals themselves through their 10 matches coming into today. This is Putt once again on the outside, directing it forward towards Ferris. Randall, 2 goals on the year, but hasn't scored since the middle of April. Good redirect towards Ferris, and Miles Gardner clips it out. So Minnesota, just like the first team, likes to use these opportunities, has set piece opportunities, just to put the ball in the area off a throw. Launched into the area by Nick Dang. Headed around. And now Houston will try to break. This ball coming to the middle towards Betancourt. Now Samir Muhammad along to Gardner. Arana tends to pull the strings for Houston. He's just a teenager, but has so much promise, one of the youngest players ever to step foot in this league. And that's saying something with all the young talent that comes through MLS Next Pro. Nice little touch around, however. Now into Caldera. Nice slide in, looks like from Arana. Good defending from Nick Dang. Now Vigilant. Caldera hits the pitch, and already some aggressive play for both sides. Ferris has to be careful here. Now we'll go back to his goalkeeper, Rizvanovic. Gardner gets a toe in there. And again, they're not going to let anything be easy. And that ball is won back by Doman. Houston is not overly aggressive. They're aggressive with a purpose. They want the ball, and they want it quickly, and they will commit numbers to win it. Shamani Bell trying to defend. Ferris launching it forward. This will roll to Pedro Cruz. One of the best goalkeepers in the league, Pedro Cruz. Last year, Cruz saved a lot of shots from opposing teams. Was one of the better goalkeepers throughout the season. Slip forward. It was Brumet preparing to strike, but he was surrounded by two. Brumet, the leading goal scorer on this team with 4. But multiple players have put the ball in the back of the net for Houston in this lineup alone. 7 of the 11 have scored. Dang delivers this one over the top towards Randall. Now, a loose touch. And Tarnu is the last to have a stab at it. Houston will have possession. 10th minute of action. It has been pressure-packed as these teams have gone back and forth. No shots on goal from Houston just yet. Minnesota did have a shot from Troy Putt. Now this ball ends up over the top. Flag has stayed down, but Brumet cannot beat Rizvanovic. Houston looks sure to score. And now Cruz showcasing his dribbling ability. Very calm under pressure was Pedro Cruz there. Randall trying to win the ball and does win a throw. So Minnesota, the team at home, team trying to take down unbeaten Houston. They have another long throw opportunity. Ball into the box. Pedro Cruz aggressively comes out to grab it. And that's what you want from your goalkeeper. Decisive. and executing. So now the first line is broken. Brumette now wide towards Arana. Ball slipped back in. Houston with something here. And now Kabia cannot clear it cleanly. Brumette was in front of him. But you see how quickly Houston can attack and put pressure on their opponent. So Kabia has to be careful. Being pressed by J.J. Bell. Now Dang. Lifted ball towards Put. He can't corral it. Now Gardner, another teenager. Samir Muhammad can't reconnect with Austin Brumette. And Minnesota back on the ball. Just one win at home this season for Minnesota. It was versus North Texas SC. No wins in their last 3 for the Loons. They did have a good result versus St. Louis, who at the time was one of 2 unbeaten teams in the Western Conference along with this Houston squad. That result a 0-0 draw, but Minnesota earned the extra point. But since then, the Loons have dropped 2 matches, one to North Texas here at home and then one on the road. Excuse me, one to North Texas on the road and one also on the road to Portland. Bell working back. There was some contact and the free kick will be given. A bit of a grab there. A possession won by Houston. Bell. Gardner dumps it forward. Samir Muhammad is onside. It was Doman who was trying to cut in. Quick throw back into play to Betancourt. Wakatuya not very tidy. Sixteenth minute of action. Still no score. This portion of the match is brought to you by the experts at Allina Health, an altogether better kind of health care. Learn more at allinahealth.org. Austin Brumette had a really good chance for Houston early on. It was saved by Rizvanovic, who had come out of goal. It was really a 1v1. And Brumette, the leading goal scorer, one he would hope to have put in away. Minnesota themselves had a clear-cut opportunity through the first quarter of an hour. Pedro Cruz made a save. Troy putting the ball on frame. Another good ball over the top, but the flag has come up. So Minnesota plays very compact, and because of how high their line is sometimes in their line of confrontation, the back line plays a little bit higher, and so that's something that Jeremy Hurdle said that his team is going to try to expose. We've seen 2 offside today, and we've also seen 1 clear-cut chance for Austin Brumette, so don't expect for these direct balls over the top to stop for Houston. For those watching at home, they're going to take what Minnesota gives them, and who would want to bypass all of the pressure being put on to the center backs if they could help it. A nice little touch towards J.J. Bell. Jamani Bell has a great story. Last season wasn't able to be with the team, but pretty much trained all by himself for the entire year to not only stay in shape, but to stay ready for his opportunity. Now Bell stays on the ball. Jamani Bell still with it. And Alpha Cambia chases him away. Betancourt. Mwakwatuya. Gardner into the area, headed towards goal. A little shove, and it'll be Minnesota's possession. I mentioned some of the struggles last season for Houston. Diego Gonzalez got injured. Things kind of crumbled a bit with this young squad. A lot of good experiences for them. They had one of the youngest teams in the entire league, and all that experience has come to fruition coming into this season. It's been on full display. Arana sticking with it at the end line. Works back to Jamani Bell. He would have made a difference last year for sure. It was a perfect storm of things for Houston that really impacted their season. And they still almost had an opportunity to make the playoffs. It was their first year not making the postseason as members in MLS Next Pro. And they look poised to get back to the postseason this year with this start. Coach Hurdle mentioned that last year was completely different than this season. Still a new group. Guys that got minutes last season, like Matteo Di Morelli, who's on the bench tonight, Noah Betancourt, even Arana. They had to go through it. They know what it takes now. This ball over the top of Gardner, so Minnesota will have a throw in. On the flip side for Coach Adi, he's been a member of this organization as an assistant coaching role. So he was a part of the team last year for Minnesota that made their first playoff appearance. Shocked St. Louis. Arana along. This bounces up off of Kabia. Half-hearted shots for a handball from Houston. Tarnu. Kabia. And that's where that pressure really benefits Houston. Other teams might have just fallen back. But Houston right in the hip pocket of Tarnu and Kabia, and they create a corner opportunity. Bell puts it in. Rizvanovic, clean catch. Silva, now Betancourt. This is almost taken away, and that'll be a foul on Houston. So a free kick coming for Minnesota. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, proud worldwide insurance partner of the International Olympic and Paralympic committees. So free kick for Minnesota. How many times does the first team score off these set piece opportunities? Had a very good season last year, did the first team. Ball launched into the area, knotted along, and it'll slip out for a goal kick. Reese Miller picked up a yellow card for that challenge that caused the free kick, so he'll have to play on a card for the remainder of his time in the match. So picks that up in the 24th minute of action. Still no score between Houston and Minnesota. We've seen Austin Brumet take a shot on goal. Kane Rizvanovic with a huge save. Troy Putt also had a chance. Minnesota looking for another chance here. Caldera. Randall! Minnesota on the board. Darius Randall is the man with the plan for Minnesota. Loons 1, Houston 0. So Darius Randall had not scored in quite a while. Gets on the board for Minnesota United. And against the Houston squad that doesn't give up very many goals, they have conceded in their last 3 matches. So despite going down today in this match, they're not going to be dismayed. But that is a big step forward for Minnesota, who has struggled in their chance finishing. Have not struggled with chance creation, says Coach Adi, but they have not finished a lot of their chances. They wanted to find their goal scorers, Marcus Caldera and Darius Randall, in goal scoring positions. Now Caldera, not ambitious when you think about Marcus Caldera. He has 5 goals on the year. It leads the team. Had a hat trick in the opener versus Austin. So he has license to take that shot. And Coach Adi said goals change games. We'll see how that changes things for Minnesota as this match goes on with them in front now. Can they build off of this goal? We know Houston is not going to go away. They did go down in their last match versus St. Louis, and they ended up scoring 4 straight. So still a lot of time remaining in this match, but that's a goal to the good for the home side. And ball is given. A little bit more on what Coach Hurdle said about Houston and the way that they performed versus St. Louis in a hostile environment. Said that that's just a very fun stadium to play in. There has a good crowd at Energizer Park, and it was the first time that Houston found itself behind this season. And so Coach Hurdle didn't know what the response was going to be because they had never faced that all season long. But they faced it as well as you could. They took a deep breath, and they kept on chugging. And as mentioned, they scored 4 straight. Mateo DiMorelli, Noah Betancourt also scored. Minnesota looking for more. Randall, who just scored, maybe a little too unselfish there. Literally just scored from the almost exact same position, and rather than take a similar strike, wanted to return the ball to Sam Vigilante. And right now, Houston is in some trouble. Minnesota playing with confidence after scoring that first goal. Now Jamani Bell. Big switch to Miles Gardner. Stands it up. Rizvanovic goes for it. Basically cleans out his own teammate. And that will bring play to a halt. Rizvanovic did not know who was behind him, didn't know who was around him, so just wanted to get a hand on that ball. It was off of Kabia, who was closest, and Kabia took the brunt of that. Kabia, poor ball. So now Samir Muhammad. Doman, Brumette, Gardner draws this in, and Jamani Bell, a rare miss hit. So Houston trying to answer quickly. Ball is lost by the Dynamo. Then one back to Jamani Bell. Bell decides not to play. Now Betancourt and Wakutuya. Muhammad. Arana. Once again trying to connect with Gardner. He does have pace, just not enough to get to that as it rolls out for a goal kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Target. Target is here for the love of the Loons. Darius Randall was on target with his strike earlier in this match as he gave Minnesota the lead 1-0 on top of Houston. Dynamo Dos, the lone remaining team unbeaten in the Western Conference. Houston has conceded a goal in each of their last 3 matches. They have won. They won versus St. Louis last time out. So this is not a position that they are going to be afraid of. And they often don't give up multiple goals. Ferris. Caldera, hold-up play is exceptional. Tries to dump it the other way towards Put. Now here comes Houston. Another corner for Dynamo Dos. Houston has not given up multiple goals this season. Bell sends this in tight. Rizvanovic able to grab it. Fires it long. Troy Put earns possession. Vigilant. Dakota is there as well. And Minnesota earns a corner. .34th minute, Minnesota already in front. Out-swinging ball comes in. Flicked off the head of Jamani Bell. Now Caldera puts it into the area, but does not find a teammate. And Miles Gardner picks this up on the touchline. Gardner working against Caldera. Gardner at the end line. Dakota. Now back to Darius Randall. Minnesota trying to attack. Randall gliding in possession. And then from behind, Gustavo Doman takes it away. And there's a foul on Luciano Pacoda, bringing down Samir Muhammad. Darius Randall signed his homegrown deal last year. Also scored in the Open Cup versus Lou City. So he is beaming with confidence. He has the goal today that has Minnesota in front. Silva along to Arana. Another offside for Houston. That is their 4th offside penalty of the day. They're going to continue to test this back line and make sure that they step at the same time, that they are all on one accord. Because if one man steps late or one man keeps an Austin Brumet or a Jamani Bell onside, good night. How does Minnesota manage the remaining 9 minutes and change of this half? found themselves in front against a team that doesn't give up very many goals. Samir Muhammad has Randall come and track back to defend. So he'll recycle play back to Mwakatuya. Quickly forward. Silva. Kabia can't let this run out, has to play with it. Now space. Arana. Bell. Now a player down at the top of the 18. That looks like Austin Bremette. So ran into somebody. He's feeling like there should be something more that will come of this. But it doesn't look like the assistant referee on this near side saw anything. So it'll just be a drop ball for Houston in the final third. Arana trying to pick out Gardner, but Ferris step for step with Miles Gardner. Tarnu can connect himself with Bakota. Now Cruz, almost a gem of a ball into Jamani Bell. There's a foul. It was a trip, not of a person, but like it was Arana who tripped over himself, but then clattered into a loon. So now in the 40th minute, Minnesota allowing some numbers to come forward for this free kick. So the ball zipped into the area. Cruz comes out and grab it very easily. Good step to the ball by Vigilant, but Caldera could not hold it up. Arana being held doesn't matter as he slips out. Dumped over the top. Good ball. Doman. Good defending. Mwakatuya, the center back, just slips it forward. This ball will bounce in the area. Ferris will clear it away. And it runs out for a Houston throw. Betancourt back back into play. Silva. Arana. Doman. And Noah Betancourt. Bell has come to this right side now. As Houston continues to have to defend now. Vigilant in some trouble. Was dug out by Doman. And Houston trying to play it quickly. Yellow card will be shown to Harwood.
Yellow card caution issued to UFC 2's number 50, Max Harwood, in the 43rd minute.
So Max Harwood picks up the yellow card in the 43rd minute. Was trying to put some pressure on Silva. Houston is in possession, down by a goal. Bell has come a little more central now after playing mostly on the left side. Gardner going 1v1, can't go around Ferris. Now Harwood pumps the ball out wide. This is Troy Putt. Putt trying to work around Silva, but he's staying with him. Good defending there by Vinicius Silva. It's actually 1v1 defending, regardless of how Troy Putt swerved and slalomed. Silva was right with him. Putt wins this on the touchline. Harwood, who just picked up that yellow card. Now Kabia. Zvanovic, who has a good save today on the Brumette shot. Poor ball from Putt. One back by Minnesota. Now Vigilant into the path of Randall. Darius Randall on his right. His shot is blocked away. Still with Harwood in Minnesota. Troy Putt launches in a cross. The shot doesn't test Cruz at all. Wasn't clean contact. Ferris puts it back in. Harwood into some space for Kabia. Now Troy Putt. Numbers in the area now for Minnesota, but Putt cannot place it inside the box. So the fourth official announcing a minute thanks to Darius Randall. Minnesota will take their time on this long throw to waste away what is remaining and hopefully take a lead into the locker room. Only question now is will it be one or two? Long throw into the sun, flicked into the box. It takes a bounce and Pedro Cruz is there for it. Does Houston have enough time to impact the scoreline? Doman. Betancourt. There is the halftime whistle from Peter Bernardi. Darius Randall, the difference maker in this first half for Minnesota. Loons have one on the board Houston goes into the break down by a goal. It's the first time they go into halftime down this entire season. They have not lost all year long. Minnesota trying to change that. Coming up in our halftime show, we get to know a talented young player carving his own path in the Big Apple, and an announcement that will shift the landscape of MLS Next Pro, plus highlights and stats after this brief timeout.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Welcome back to Minnesota. Loomed in front by a goal. There is no shortage of success stories in MLS coming out of the New York market. Another solid young player is making his way with NYCFC. So let's get to know Arnau Farnos. MLS has agreed to a deal with
I think for sure was my mom. She was the first one to know it because she was working, and I sent her a message and I was like, please don't call because we have a meeting right now. But like I have to tell you, like they just told me like they want me to sign first team deal. So she was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was definitely my mom. Hi, I'm Arnau Farnos, and I'm a midfielder / winger, and I play for New York City FC. When I signed here with the second team, my goal was always to be part of the first team, and since the moment I got drafted, that was my goal, that was my dream. And nothing is easy, you know, so that's why you have to work for it. Every call-up is an opportunity. And I'm thankful for the coaches to give me those opportunities. But like, it's not about the games, it's about every day, how you practice, how you prepare yourself, physically and mentally. And when the opportunity comes, that you have to be ready and know that if you have the opportunity, you have to prove yourself. They push you a lot, which is a really good sign. But they also have a really good connection with the team, special connection with the players also. And they are open, which is also important for a player because gets you confident when you play and when you train. And he was always super close, coach and all the staff, and give me a lot of confidence to me. And that's why I feel like I'm super happy for being part of this team, for the confidence from the staff and also from the players. One of the things, for example, Nico always says when he's here is like, and I've took it from all the players as well, but like, you are doing what you like and what's your passion. So coming here to practice, you are privileged, you know, having this job, because you are doing something that you really like and you really can, you grow with it. And coming here every day, yeah, there is people working for you, for the treatment, they're cooking for you, and how many people would love to have and to be in the position that you are right now. So I would say just enjoy the moment, push yourself in the moment that you have to push yourself, and yeah, enjoy. Super excited at the moment when I saw the ball going in. I kind of didn't believe it at the beginning, but after it was like a happiness feeling, you know, especially after with all my teammates, like they congratulated me at the end of the game, and everybody came to support me and saying congratulations, and it was a really happy moment and special moment in my career. I think I had a lot of good coaches in my career. I would say probably when I was at Celta, I would say Claudio. But I would say my best moment playing soccer was the decision to make here and go to college. The 4 years at Oregon State with all the coaches I had and all the staff I had, they really helped me develop myself physically and mentally. And I think it was the step that I needed in order to be a professional soccer player. So I'm super grateful for the opportunity that Oregon State gave me. Keep supporting us, keeping showing ourselves, keep coming to our games, because probably right now we are not having the best, we are not in the best moment of the season, but we're for sure gonna come back, and we're for sure gonna give some happy news soon to the fans.
Very excited to be here officially. You know, I helped out a little bit last year. You know, I really enjoyed my time working with the players, working with the staff. So, you know, I'm glad to be able to be on staff full time and be involved. Towards the end of my career, I started thinking about what, you know, I wanted to do, you know, post playing, and, you know, coaching was something that for a while I didn't know if I wanted to do it. When my kids started to be a little bit older and I started doing it with them, you know, I started enjoying it, and I thought, you know, I had a lot of knowledge that I could pass down to, you know, young players. That was kind of an easy decision after thinking about it. There's lots of different things that I can teach them from my career, but also, you know, the mentality, you know, the intensity, the winning mentality is what I want to bring to the young guys, because they're going to need that. I played at a high level college, and I was still like a little bit overwhelmed when I first got here, you know, and it's the adaptation. If you don't do it quick at that time, then you were kind of out of the system. But now I think, especially with the academy and bringing those guys up, and then moving into a environment like MLS Next Pro with North Texas, then I think it's a big jump in the quality of, you know, everything that is involved with this. And I think it's huge for developing players. I think there used to be a lot of guys who kind of got pushed out of the system if it wasn't working right away, but now those guys maybe get a second chance and can develop into good players. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it feels like home. Like you said, I've been here for a long time. I know a lot of people here. You know, I knew John beforehand. I knew a lot of the other staff beforehand, and even some of the players I still know. So it's just nice to be back in, you know, a familiar environment and be able to give these players my knowledge. This year, I think my goal is to improve our defensive solidarity. Obviously, I want to try to improve individually the players in the defensive line, help them improve their tendencies. But, you know, as a unit, I want our group to be solid and to give up less goals. That's always the goal. And for me, that was like my big thing as a player throughout my career. I always wanted to give up less goals, and I think that's something I want to pass on to these defensive players.
MLS has agreed to a deal that will see global investment firm KKR make a strategic investment and partner with MLS Next Pro. KKR will inject capital into MLS Next Pro with an eye on growing the league and its footprint around the continent. In conjunction with MLS, the partnership will oversee commercial strategy as it looks to move the 27 MLS-affiliated Next Pro teams into new networks and new markets, with an eye on building brands within those communities and seeking stadium development deals. We will no doubt see and hear more about this in the coming seasons. Well, you welcome you back to Blaine, Minnesota. Right now, Minnesota is in front by a goal, 1-0 on top of Houston Dynamo Dose. Minnesota looking to take down the last unbeaten team in the Western Conference. And as we see this score, lots of other scores to discuss from the league, as this has been a really fun season to start, fun year to start. And here are some of those scores. You see Minnesota falling in their last match to Portland. Austin ensuring that Colorado stays without a win this year. And then a late winner for New England Revolution, Jake Shannon, with a man up, found a way to find a goal in the late stages of that match in the 86th minute. So that is how that one finished. And then Austin with a big win, 3-0 over Tacoma. As we look at some of the matches upcoming on tomorrow, it will be St. Louis and Austin, a chance to get back in the win column for St. Louis after falling to this Houston squad last time out. New York and New York City in the Hudson River Derby. That will commence at 7 p.m. And then Philadelphia Union and Columbus Crew 2, two of the Giants in the Eastern Conference, will match up as well on Sunday.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
Yes. Okay, so now it's time for our halftime highlights for Houston and Minnesota. This was the chance early on for the Dynamo. It was Austin Brumet. It was mano a mano with Kane Rizvanovic, and he was the man. Rizvanovic making the stop. A little bit later, this header just over the top. And then Darius Randall, good touch, clean contacts, and a tidy finish as he gave Minnesota the lead 1-0 on top of Houston in the 23rd minute. Then a little bit later, Randall from almost the exact same spot. He was trying to pass and not shoot. And that, on that time, might have done him a little bit better to be more selfish, as he could have found a second goal. And so those are your halftime highlights. We will take one more break and be back for the second half between Houston and Minnesota.
Boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still sticking ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud, don't worry about what next. Just know we got now, oh yes. Man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Second half is upon us. And Houston and Minnesota battling right now. Troy Putt in possession for Minnesota. Wide to Vigilant. Harwood. Vigilant. Minnesota still with it. This is Tarnu into the area right at Cruz. Minnesota in front by a goal, 1-0 on top of Houston Dynamo Dos as we get ready to continue this second half. James Hadnot here with you. Thank you so much for joining us on One Football and on MLSNextPro.com. Houston comes in to today unbeaten. 8 wins, no losses, 1 draw. They had given up just 4 goals through 9 matches coming into today. They started the season on a real heater, a clean sheet in 5 of their first 6, but they've allowed a goal in each of their last 3 matches. Last time out was the first time they went down in a match versus St. Louis, and today was the first time they went into the break down by a goal. So Coach Hurdle said he liked the response versus St. Louis. This is a different test after having to go into the locker room down. Ball finds Reese Miller for Houston. Now Jamani Bell has a lot of pace and ability. I really like the swagger that he brings to this team. Isaac Mwakwatuya switching the point of attack towards Miles Gardner. Samir Muhammad still with it. Muhammad. Ball's mishandled by Rizvanovic, and an immediate response to start the second half. It's the leading goal scorer for Houston, Austin Brumett. Well, if you're wondering how Houston was going to respond in this second half, there's your answer. Dynamo don't find themselves behind very often. It was for about 11 minutes, if that, versus St. Louis after going down on the road. Only difference is this was for about 15 or 20 minutes. So they immediately go in front and are immediately back on the prowl. Austin Brumett came in with 4 goals. This highly vaunted attack of Houston now on the season with 25 goals. The only team with more goals on the year is Crown Legacy. They have 29. And for Houston, mentioned that they don't give up very many goals, only have allowed 5, including today, and they have not allowed a team to score multiple goals in a match against them all season long. It was 4 unanswered that the Dynamo scored versus St. Louis after going down by a goal, and they have now drawn back level with Minnesota. There's the shove from behind by Tarnu. Reese Miller now grabbing at his right leg, and a free kick for Houston. So Miller will stretch out a bit. Play resumes. Miller's back on his feet. Into Jamani Bell. Bell shoved down by Tarnu, and he's waving him to get back up. Dillman shoved down, and Houston will win possession again. Arana plays to Gardner. A little more energy from Houston to start the second half, and definitely more energy after scoring the equalizing goal. Caldera. Nice little touch from Vigilant. Caldera had Randall off his left shoulder. Don't know if he knew it, as Vigilant was trying to play Randall. So energy from both of these squads. This is an important match for Minnesota. They're looking for just their second win at home this season. And for Houston, they're trying to stay unbeaten. The record is 12 straight unbeaten to start a year. Colorado has that back in 2023 when they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. And now some pushing and shoving. Betancourt in the midst of it for Houston. Pedro Cruz, captain for Houston, as well as Alphacabia. So everybody jockeying for position, and the intensity level has risen. So Peter Bernardi trying to get a wrangle on things before this long throw is taken by Minnesota. Throw does not come in long. It's Ferris. Harwood runs to put. Huge collision. was Nick Dang who ran right into Austin Brumette. Play resumes. Houston is one of the most successful teams in this league. Rizvanovic is out. Booms that away. Finds Arana. Brumette comes to pick it up. Now Gardner can carry. Muhammad with an excellent move. Kabi is first to that. And Put launches it away. Arana. Muhammad can't shimmy through, but Arana's little tap to Gardner. He'll come more central. Gardner has his shot blocked. Corner. So Samir Muhammad recently signed a second-team contract coming through the academy, a part of all the young talent that is coming through the Houston Dynamo Academy. Zips this in. Rizvanovic is clean as he went for that. Harwood has to be careful, but Jamani Bell is whistled for too much in his defending. This portion of the match is brought to you by Bell Bank, a family and employee-owned bank. Caldera comes to pick this up. Nice idea. Tarnu can't get to it before it runs out. That's the next step for Marcus Caldera, says his head coach. He's very good in his goal scoring. We've seen it. Had the hat trick in the opener. Was named player of the match day. But his coach wants him to be better in hold-up play, to be able to find other options as well as to allow for his teammates to join in the attack. Nice move here from Ferris. Carries this a nice way. Now Darius Randall. The play will come back for Houston. This is kept in. Caldera, a little tap to Randall. He can't pull it back, however. So Minnesota's pressing has actually put Houston under some duress today. Silva. Now Tarnu. And Minnesota will earn a possession as we near an hour gone. Pacoda. Bell. Nobody home there. Gardner whistled for the foul. This would be huge for Minnesota in regards to a confidence boost. They were leading this match. They found themselves behind after, find themselves level after giving up a goal early. But after dropping their last two, they have played well against the West Elite. This ball right to Cruz. Miller. This ball does squiggle out. Throw-in coming for Minnesota. 4 wins overall this year for the Loons. Houston has doubled that total with their 8. Now a substitution coming on.
And number 18, Diego Gonzalez checking in, replacing number 11, J.J. Bell.
De Alessandro Herrera was coming on. Jamani Bell is coming off. Diego Gonzalez will come on.
And checking in, number 36, Jacob Friedman.
For Minnesota, Jacob Friedman coming on for Troy Putt. So Diego Gonzalez coming on immediately brings in another connector, also a goal scorer. Gonzalez, 23 years of age, but he's been a part of this Houston Dynamo franchise since he was a young teenager. And he's gone through it all, experienced an injury last year that really stopped the momentum of the team early on. The team lost a leader and a vocal leader, as well as just on the field. But he continues to try to lead this squad. Now Darius Randall into the area, draws his back. Cruz was there. Now it's a corner. So Friedman, who's just come on as a substitute, tasked with taking this corner. Lots of chances here, and Minnesota takes advantage. Oh, it's been wiped away. And so Houston will play it quickly out. A lot of traffic in the area. It was eventually tapped home, but it was all for naught. So Mwakatui will get to this. Well, Minnesota once again with a real chance to take the lead. Offside was the eventual decision. But it just shows you how close the Loons are to going back in front and to really putting pressure on this unbeaten streak of Houston. Doman trying to control is Doman. And there's contact, and that'll be a foul on Max Harwood. So he has to be careful. He's sitting on a yellow card. This portion of the match is brought to you by the experts of Allina Health, an altogether better kind of health care. Learn more at allinahealth.org. Now off this turnover. Ball slipped behind for Caldera. Takes the shot first time. And Cruz calmly wrangles it. 65th minute. Minnesota went up in the first half, took a lead into the locker room. Houston struck quickly in the second half, and we've been square since the 48th minute in this second half. Austin Brumet had the second half goal for Houston. Darius Randall scoring in the first half for Minnesota, and then he had a chance moments after from the exact same spot. But rather than shoot, decided to pass, and we'll see if that comes back to bite Minnesota. This is Randall on the ball now, the homegrown. Originally from Monrovia, Liberia. Now Randall, and there is a golden chance that Minnesota does not take advantage of. Coach Adi said, I want to get the ball into players that I know can score, and those were your two top goal scorers connecting there. But Caldera could not strike it cleanly, and a spectacular opportunity goes awry for Minnesota. So that is two now clear-cut chances that the Loons have not put away. And not only in a match like this against an unbeaten team, but period in this season, those are the ones that have gotten away from Minnesota, says their head coach. And so he wants to be, wants to do his best to not really dig into his team because they're doing what they're supposed to do in regards to chance creation, and doesn't want them to tighten up even more than they already are by really getting on them. But he also says there is going to be a time when he has to lay the hammer down. That time hasn't come just yet. They're still level with Houston, who's at the top of the Western Conference. Houston coming off a win versus St. Louis in a battle of the unbeatens last time out to take that top spot. Houston has looked the part of one of the best teams in the league this season with their goal scoring, with their defending. But right now they've been exposed a bit versus this Minnesota squad. Randall trying to use his pace. He cannot get around Arana. And Silva goes back to Cruz. Fires it the other way. Arana has a chance to take this a bit of a way. Now, ball's flung in. And Nick Dang here to stop the damage. Doman. Gonzalez, now Gardner. Gonzalez sends it into the box. Rizvanovic able to wrangle it after Nick Dang got a boot to it. Now Randall, a loose touch, sees the ball roll out. Cruz comfortable playing out of the back. This is Noah Bedcourt. Doman, Arana. Now Gardner with a chance to turn. Samir Muhammad sends this ball towards the back post. Two runners there, but too much heat on the ball. Now Houston starting to figure out how they want to expose this press of Minnesota. Caldera, nice little tap behind. This could be something for the Loons. And then the attack fizzles out. From Vigilance. Had two men with him as Caldera is doing his job in the hold-up area of this match. In the hold-up department, rather. That's twice where he's created something through his hold-up play. That little tap behind gave Vigilance a chance to run onto it. Now this ball is lost. Vigilance. No contact. It was clean from Wakwatuya. Now this ball is with Randall, and the volley is out of play. Vigilance is still down, and Peter Bernardi signaling for a change.
Playing the game, number 50, Max Harwood. And checking in, number 97, Jack Clarkson.
So Jack Clarkson comes on for Minnesota, makes a debut today after signing his contract today on May 16th. Played at UNC Wilmington, and he is now on the pitch for Minnesota after signing earlier today. This is Gonzalez keeping possession. Doman. Wakwatuya and now Betancourt. We're tied at one apiece. Muhammad finds Herrera. Now Arana. Had eyes for Gonzalez. Randall has tracked back to help out. Taken away by Herrera. Gonzalez. Now Arana. Had a hand in everything today for Houston. Sets the tempo, does the teenager. Silva. Herrera has Gonzalez with him. Dillman. Something potentially brewing here for Houston, as this has been a long passage in possession. Gonzalez. Early ball through. Brumet takes the touch. What a save from Rizvanovic. Stupendous defending from Kane Rizvanovic. Leading goal scorer for the team on a brace with a chance to take the lead. And Rizvanovic stood tall, made himself big. A gorgeous ball from Diego Gonzalez. Now Gonzalez back on the ball. Dillman. Silva. Ball drops to Dillman. Gonzalez sees it run through. And as it's headed down, a touch. And Samir Mohammed can't take a shot. Caldera can't continue going the other way. And Houston will win it back. This is the center back, Mwakwatulia. Now Doman. Brumet. Quarter of an hour remains. Gardner drives this in. It's cleared behind for a Houston corner. This portion of the match is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. Tried and true blue. Well, as you would expect, in the final 15 minutes of this match, things are going to get a little bit more testy. The tension is going to rise. And Houston, sensing that moment, has put some pressure on Minnesota. Both sides with a goal today. Minnesota's coming in the first, taking a lead into the break. Houston scoring in the second half. Outswinging ball, headed along by Betancourt. There's a shove from behind unnecessarily, and that'll be a free kick as Silva won't be given a foul. And now going down, looks like Alpha Cabia. So the training staff being called onto the field for Minnesota. Cabia, one of the two center backs for Minnesota. Training staff working on the legs of Cabia. And Minnesota might be making a substitution here for the center back.
Checking in, number 16, Alan Martin. And he's replacing number 44, Miles Gardner.
It's Houston that makes the sub as Alan Martins comes on. Noah Betancourt will come off. And Cabia will continue to be worked on. As day turns tonight here in Blaine, Minnesota, we're at the National Sports Center. And check that, it's Miles Gardner who comes out, not Betancourt, for Alan Martins. So Cabia walking off the field under his own power, but laboring a bit with that left leg. And we'll see how long Minnesota potentially plays down a man, if Cabia will be able to continue. There will be a throw in for Minnesota in the 78th minute.
Leading the game, number 92, Alpha Kavia. And checking in, number 64, Issa Saidi.
So it will be a substitution. Issa Saidi will come on for Kabia. And a long throw down the line, headed by De Alessandro Herrera. So another throw in coming for Minnesota. Again, Houston has not given up multiple goals all season long. They've given up a total of 5 goals now through 9 matches and this one. Betancourt chests that down. Matthew Arana ends up with it. Now Herrera. Minnesota has had their chances. One, Darius Randall in the first half that he did not put away. In the second, probably their best chance of the day outside of the goal that was scored. Marcus Caldera right in front of goal, just had to tap it in. Couldn't get it out of his feet as the ball was running towards him. Kane Rizvanovic, who made the mistake and allowed the ball to slip through his fingers, and Austin Brumet headed it home in the first half. Made up for it with his amazing save of Brumet inside the area, and also had another great save in the first half of Brumet, 1-on-1. So, despite giving up the goal, Rizvanovic has had a pretty good match, and he saved some goals surely, or Houston could have 3 on the day. So still yet to be decided as the 80th minute turns to the 81st, and we are level at 1 apiece. If this match was to end in a draw, then both sides would earn a point, and we would go to a penalty shootout to see who would earn the extra point from the match. If Minnesota was to draw Houston, it would be their second draw of an unbeaten team. They drew St. Louis 0-0. Houston trying to change the scoreline right now. Nice shimmying move from Samir Muhammad, but he can't strike it. Throw-in comes into Arana. Digs it out, does Arana. Now the cross. Gonzalez didn't strike it clean. Randall. Vigilant. Minnesota trying to counter. Back with Darius Randall, the goal scorer for Minnesota today. Ushered back along. Randall draws this back. Now Brumet, his header. No clearance yet from Houston. Caldera gets a piece of this. Marcus Caldera takes a lot of contact. No foul. Minnesota winning possession back. Bodies all over the pitch. Now this ball finds Darius Randall. Isolated against Herrera. Randall to the inline. Stands this up, but Cruz tall enough to snag it. And now a man goes down for Houston. And it is Betancourt trying to walk things off under his own power. And play resumes. 83rd minute now. Still level at 1 apiece. There might be 1 or 2 chances remaining in this match. Which side will take them is still the question. Long ball from Cruz, headed down by Gonzalez. No contact, or excuse me, nothing there. There was contact, but Peter Bernardi says play on. Minnesota tries to play direct now. Darius Randall can't find a teammate inside the area, but does earn a corner. So it is the substitution.
Checking in to 34, Micah Harris. Replacing number 14, Noah Bettencourt. Also checking in, number 9, Arthur Sosa. Replacing number 30, Isaac Makutia.
Isaac Makutia and now Noah Bettencourt both come off. Arthur Sosa and Micah Harris come on for Houston. Trying to defend here late versus Minnesota. It is Jacob Friedman, the substitute himself, who came on in the second half to take this corner in the 85th minute. Friedman fires this in. Corralled. No clearance just yet from Houston. And now the ball finds the substitute Issa Saidi. Saidi pumps this ball across. Randall controls. Now this ball curled in. Dang keeps it alive, and now Cruz comes to corral it. Big ball forward from Cruz. It'll take a bounce towards Sosa, and he'll head it along. Martins. Sosa driving in possession. Sosa is contacted with, gets it back. Peter Bernardi told Sosa to rise. Sosa did just that and still had a chance to take a shot. And we play on in the 86th minute. Anderson Ferris turns it over cheaply. Sosa with it, but can't connect down this left side. Caldera once again strongly holds up play. Now earns it back rather quickly. Darius Randall on his horse will catch up to this. Randall brought down by Herrera. Goal kick is given. So a lot of contact being allowed here late in this match. And Darius Randall receives a yellow card from Peter Bernardi.
Yellow card contribution to NAUFC 2's number 17, Darius Randall, 87th minute.
Brumet for Houston. Back towards Silva. And now Doman in possession for the Dynamo. Again, 8 wins this year, no losses for Houston coming into today. They went down in this match by a goal. They found a second half goal. Now Herrera sees the ball roll out. Throw in coming for Houston. For Minnesota, just 1 win at home. This is just their 4th home match. They've been on the road for a lot of this campaign. Brumet tries to flick this along. Ferris is on it now for Minnesota. Friedman doesn't want to get into trouble. So Rizvanovic Launches it the other way. That ball pops up on Wakwatuya. Minnesota wanting a handball. It didn't look like it was on purpose to corral. That is why Peter Bernardi says play on. Vigilant. This is tapped out. Minnesota has a corner in the 89th minute. Ball is sent in. Still free. And how does that not find the back of the net? Nick Dane came screaming in, and he just couldn't make clean contact. Another excellent served ball from Jacob Friedman. And these are the opportunities that Minnesota has just left on the table. Perfect ball into Herrera, awaiting options. Gonzalez along to Herrera, right at Rizvanovic. We said this match had maybe one or two chances. That was definitely one for Minnesota. Can they find another? As Darius Randall has had lots of space on this right side. Nothing there as he goes to ground. Now Gonzalez has to be careful, does Randall. He's on that yellow card. Fourth official announcing a minimum of 3 minutes of added time in this second half. Minnesota has seemed to be the more likely side. And also Houston is very dangerous and now have some numbers. Gonzalez can't reconnect with Herrera. Caldera, after being called out by his coach, has looked much better with his hold-up play today. Call out is such a strong word. He was really just instructed. He and Coach Adi had a conversation about the last match, and Caldera, although he was going up against a player who was much older than him, Coach Adi said you have to be strong in those moments. You have to make your presence felt, and he has done that to date. Vigilant cannot swerve through. Brumette being held up. Lots of contact. Doman. Won't pick up the yellow. It will be Herrera who picks up the yellow card as he kicked the ball away.
Dynamo 2, number 17, Alessandro Herrera, in the 90 plus 2 minutes.
So Friedman trying to gain some leverage while the referee turned around. Did not work. So has a chance to put the ball into a dangerous area. Fires it into the 18. Cruz with a clean catch. Moments remain now as Houston will look to get to the finish line and earn a point here on the road. Cruz One of the best goalkeepers in the league. Don't want to see this if you are the Dynamo. Now it takes his time to get up. Just as we have finished our allotted minimum of 3 minutes. Off the draw ball, we'll see how much time, if any, remains. All that's left is Peter Bernardi to blow his whistle. Arana fires this forward. Friedman. Caldera chests it down. Out wide to Saidi. This will be allowed. Issa Saidi went down inside the area. The fans want something more, but that's not going to gain anything from our referee. The full-time whistle blows, and we are level after a full 90. So, at the end of regulation, it's Minnesota 1, Houston 1. Both sides will earn a point from today's match, and we will go to penalties to see who will earn the extra point after this break.
The match will now be decided by a shootout. With the winning team earning 2 points and the losing team earning 1.
Dude, move away, I can see.
Yeah. Boys hear sentiment. Flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still sticking ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best. Can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions. Trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next. Just wanna know what's next. Man, I sing it so loud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now. Oh yes. Man, I sing it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Hard-fought match between Minnesota and Houston. It was Minnesota that scored first on top of the Dynamo in the first half. Minnesota, the only team this season to take Houston into the locker room in front of Dynamo Dos, but as Houston has done all year long, they responded. They found a goal early in the second half. Austin Brumet, his 5th of the year, and neither side can find a goal late. Here is Darius Randall slotting home the first for Minnesota. And that gave them the lead just after the 20th minute. And they took that lead into the break. But then Austin Brumet taking advantage of the mistake by Kane Rizvanovic. And that was just after the start of the second half. It was Marcus Caldera who had a chance right in front of goal. He did not finish. It was Austin Brumet who had a shot that was stopped by Kane Rizvanovic in the first half. So both sides had their opportunities from this match. And it was just the one goal for each side that found the back of the net. And now Marcus Caldera steps up to start this shootout for Minnesota, leading goal scorer for this team. But it has been some time since he has scored in the run of play. And so now wants to get things started for Minnesota. It's Pedro Cruz in goal. Caldera, stopped by Cruz. Pedro Cruz, the elder statesman in this league. He's been a part of multiple Dynamo teams. He's been in the playoffs before. He's been in big moments. And he starts this shootout with a stop of Caldera. Now Houston immediately has an opportunity to go in front. It is Austin Brumet, as mentioned, leading goal scorer on the season for Houston. Notched his 5th goal of the year today. Kane Rizvanovic, who already stopped him 1v1 in the run of play, now has to stop him on this shot. Can't do that. Brumet easily rolls it past. And Houston is in front 1-0 in this shootout.
For UFC 2, number 59, Anderson Ferris.
So Anderson Ferris now comes up. Cruz confident after stopping the first shot from a loon in this shootout. Ferris is blocked as well. So it is Pedro Cruz who is 2 for 2. He's seen 2 shots, he saved 2 shots. And Houston with an opportunity to take a commanding 2-0 lead in this shootout now. And no better player to step up than the captain, Diego Gonzalez. He and Cruz have been on this team, have been in the trenches with this Dynamo squad. And Gonzalez, who's coming back from an injury last year, golden chance for the Dynamo. And Gonzalez with a stupendous penalty. That was professional in every sense of the word. Top corner. Nobody is saving that.
Now up for UFC 2, number 36, Jacob Friedman.
So now Jacob Friedman steps up, the substitute. Pedro Cruz has already stopped 2 shots for Houston. Minnesota has yet to put one past him. And this is the first shot to hit the back of the net for Minnesota. They're on the board now in the shootout.
Now headed to the spot for Houston Dynamo 2, number 12, Vinicius Rodriguez Silva.
Vinicius Silva, a chance to really put the pressure on Minnesota if he can score from the spot. Does just that. He delivers. Silva tucks it away. And now Minnesota must score.
Headed to the spot right at UFC 2, number 95, Sam Vigilante.
So Sam Vigilante, he scored in the last match for Minnesota. must score for the Loons right now. And Pedro Cruz with a third save in the shootout. And Houston will take the extra point off the heroics from the netminder. What a moment for Pedro Cruz on the road in enemy territory. And he stops 3 of the 4 penalties taken to help his team earn the extra point. Handshakes all around, an exciting time for him. And Houston already earned the point from the match. They stay unbeaten, 10 straight to start the year. And the man of the match for Houston going to be the goal scorer that helped keep them unbeaten. Without this goal, they do not earn a point from this match. So now it's time for your Adidas man of the match. It is Austin Brumett, the goal scorer for Houston, taking advantage of this mistake from Izmanovic. And the Dynamo found a goal in the 47th minute, and they rode that momentum all the way to an extra point here. Brumett also scoring the first penalty for Houston to get the party started. And Houston unbeaten to start the year, 10 straight. Well, thank you for joining us this evening from Minnesota. The final, once again, Minnesota 1, Houston 1, and Dynamo take it 3-1 in the penalty shootout. You can watch MLS Next Pro all season long on onefootball.com and MLSNextPro.com with my amazing One Football crew. My name is James Sadnot saying so long from Minnesota, and have a blessed evening.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.